my screen. This video might be a bit longer, so we might have to, I'm sure, maybe split it into two or something, but feel free to pause and rewatch anytime you want to watch this. So there is the screen to the right that we want to design, and I have also taken some time to create a layout on my left on how we want to go about designing this screen. Remember, as far as Flutter is concerned, you could approach things in whatever manner you want to, but then this is a simple way I want to approach it today. So you see, like, there's a scaffold, primarily because we have a bar at the top and a bottom navigation bar, so I want to use a scaffold. And then followed by that, here is a bar. I mean, if you look at this side, and then we have some icons and some text in the bar, and then some actions to the right, and then we have this, which is the row, a list view, but I'll put that list view in a container so that I can size it, the height. And then I have this image here, which is a container, and then I'll put the image inside, and then the rest of the content down here, and then the bottom navigation bar here. So I hope this gives some clarity on what we want to do today. Now I'll go back to my page. I have created an app, and if you have been following me, I've done some refactoring, and then the page I'm designing is going to be on the home screen. So I'm currently on the home screen, and all I've done today is that I have let's continue this. So this is the home screen, and the emulator to my right is displaying what we want to design. So first, let's start with dealing with the app bar. First of all, what do we want to do? We want to first add a leading icon, which is the menu to the left side on top of the screen. So let's do that. So remember, this is, let me start all this over again so that I get it. We have a scaffold, all right, and in the scaffold we have a body, which for now we just add a container. For now, let me make this. So we have a container for now, and then we have an app bar, which is the bar at the top of the screen, right? So I mean, we have that now. We can overall the background is white, so let's say the background of the scaffold is colors.white. I mean, we run this, we have what is on the screen. Now we have to add a leading for the app bar, which is the menu at the top here. So let's add that. So we call that leading, and I mean, for now, let's just say it's an icon, but if you want to be able to interact with it, then you have to make it an icon button. So let's make it an icon button so that if you need to do something later, you can use that as well. So I'll say it's an icon button, and so an icon button has a press state. For now, let's add an anonymous function, and then we need to add an icon here. So we have an icon, and then we can say icons dot menu. I think yeah, menu, yeah, and then we have that, and we have that done. Now let's run our application. See that we have this, which is the one here. Now the next thing we want to do, of course, is to add a text that is against the bar here, which is bubble. So close as this, then I would have approached it by another route, which means that I will use a row to the leading sort of. Let's do that. So what I'm describing is that the leading would be, instead of it just being a button, we'll do a row here. Okay, we'll do a row, and then the children of the row will first be the button, and then the second one will be the text that we have here. Okay, and then that way, so that way when we do that, we don't need to in any way have to add all these properties again. So we have the row, and then the next thing will be the text, which is this way, and then when we do, we sort of have that. And then what we need to do in that regard is that we need to say the leading width must be something that we can control now. So we have some bit of space. Let's do this, and then I'll increase it a bit, say 160. All right, so this would give us the flexibility of moving the width as far as we want it to be at any particular point in time, so that it's much closer to this as we can get. And then I will now put a constant here, so to avoid the underline that is being shown when this is built. So we'll have something like this. It's clickable as well, because if you look at our design, it's an icon button. Now to the right of the bar, we have something called actions. Actions help you define all the menus that are here, and so we have menus right here, and this sort of icons is from what we call line icons. So I'll quickly add a plugin called line icons. So I'll download this plugin, so that gives us access to use line icons in our project. So you can just go look for this from the pub.dev website, and then I'll add the line icons. Remember, we add icons by going into our pubspec.yaml, look under the cappuccino icons. I added this earlier, so feel free to ignore it. And I add this, I save, Control S, and then it will download the plugin that I need to use, and if everything is successful, I can leave there. And then here we have two. If you look at our design, we have two. We have a search icon and we have a notification bell icon. So we'll start with icons. Well, of course, if you need to be able to click on each of them, so then we have to do an icon button, right, so that we can be able to click on each of them. So I'll do this and add an anonymous action here. Let me move this to the side, and then we have icon, and then I'll now use line icons because I have imported that. Okay, line icons dot we'll use a search in this case. Alright, so we do that, we run, we have the search to the right here. Sort of, I mean, if you need something that looks much better than that, I'm not sure which other kind of other search that are there. We can play around with them and see what works best, but then yeah, this is the only one that is as close as it gets. So that's okay by now. And then that's the first icon. The next one will be this. Again, we just replicate this, and instead of it being a search icon this time around, we'll use a notification. So let's say bell. Right, so yeah, so beautiful start so far, and we have this nicely lined up there. At least for the top, you realize that this is entirely white, but then we have a bit of bar background. So change the background color of the bar, and then we say colors.white. So we have achieved the bar.